time, I think we had been able to look at from the last meeting we had. We introduced from the issues of flanker brands. I think we looked at started from let me just we started from about here where we had additional notes on the relationships in marketing, and that is why I had asked you to look at these theories of the attachment theory, the social penetration theory, and the relational dialectics theory as theories that can help you understand how the community or how the society perceives certain things, and then you're able to design an appropriate reproductive health marketing program in order to penetrate the community with your services. So we were able to look at the findings and also strategies to combat adverse effects, and then we looked at co-branding, licensing, sports sponsorship, and also the principles of brand portfolio management. And then we looked at flanker brands, the low entry and high entry, and then brand architecture and hierarchy, then designing branding, and then corporate brand considerations, family brand, and we concluded with the modifier brands. So today we want to just be able to relate what brand portfolio and brand architecture are. And in brand portfolio strategy, we're looking at an internal framework for market coverage, meaning you're looking within your company or within your service provision. Probably, if you're offering reproductive health services, you're looking at yourself, and you're looking at your company within. However, when you're looking at architecture, you're looking at without, meaning you're looking at the external framework, how people perceive your product. So, brand portfolio focuses on the internal product or the service diversification within an organization. An example is that a healthcare provider might offer family planning, gynecological care, and mental health services under its umbrella. This showcases comprehensive healthcare solutions. So the aspect in which you as the brand offers different services internally is actually a portfolio strategy. We've been using an example of a one-stop center where we have seen people construct fuel stations, and at the fuel station you will see a supermarket, you will see a mall where people can actually go and buy all the food stuff that they would want to buy. So in this aspect, in that kind of portfolio internally, the person is having a petroleum or fuel station, but at the same time they are having a supermarket, and in that supermarket they are offering all the services that someone would need to take care of their family. So, in other words, internally, you might be offering fertility solutions as the umbrella of your company, but under it, you're in fertility solutions, you're offering family planning, you're offering antenatal care services, you're offering gynecological services, you're offering mental health services, maternal child health services, and so forth. So that shows that your company is actually comprehensive in offering healthcare solutions. Whereas when you're looking at the brand architecture, it focuses more on the external perceptions and the relationships between different brands. So the example is that the same provider, you may use different brand names for each service. So the same person, probably a petrol station, I don't know the one that is a little common there, but we know that Total is a worldwide one. So you will see it is Total petrol station or Total petroleum services, and under petroleum services, you will see that they are offering probably at a different brand. They have a different brand name, probably a service provider who is offering supermarket. Then they will say Total Supermarket. Then they will put where there is a restaurant, they can have a cafe, they can have a coffee shop. So all those are that is a service provider, but they are having different brand names. Similarly, under your particular fertility center, you may be able to have different brand names, where you may be able to have family planning center, you'll have a woman's health clinic, you'll have a mindful wellness. So you will have all these different brand names, but under one service provider or under your own docket of fertility solutions, which caters therefore for different audiences and the needs of the community that you've targeted. So, what are some of the considerations? One, you need to align your brand portfolio strategy with the desired brand architecture to create a cohesive identity. So, when you're still doing your internal strategy, you need to be able to align it with your external strategy. If you're having a family planning center within your fertility solutions, then you must be able to make sure that the fertility solutions is not overshadowed by your different other brand names that you've put within. So some of the strategies in designing is that you need to understand which products to introduce, and also how many hierarchy levels do you use, and also you need to look at the desired brand awareness and the image at each level. How do you combine different brand elements? How do you link our brand introducing you to the idea of trying to look at different competition and understand your population or your target group. And as I had discussed earlier with you, that all these need market research, in that for you to be able to ask questions such as which product do I introduce, you're already aware of the needs and the preferences and the likes of your target group. But also, if you're looking at how many hierarchy levels do you use, you're able to understand the social dynamics of that particular target group that you're looking at. So all those will help you understand how clearly you can be able to do your designing of those two strategies in there. Then we want to look at another term here called brand extensions. And we are saying that this is a marketing strategy that involves using an existing brand name to launch a new or modified product in a different category. And you're saying there are types of brand extensions, there are horizontal brand extensions and vertical brand extensions. We shall be able to clearly explain those. But in other words, when you're talking about brand extensions, if you already had if you already had a brand called Fertility Solutions, but you want to use that same brand name to launch a new product. The other time I was giving an example of sodas or of those bottling companies, where you will come and start realizing that there is a Coca-Cola, and then there is Coke Zero, then you have Mirinda Fruity, you have Mirinda Pineapple. So you're having different brand names or different products, but still under the same name. So similarly, even when you're using reproductive health, those reproductive health products, you will realize that actually what happens is that the manufacturers will be using the same names However, for you as a service provider, you could actually adopt the same issue with brand extensions, where if you were offering fertility solutions, offering family planning, then at the same time you're able to use that same name, fertility solutions. Then this time you're saying you're offering antenatal health care services. But also extension moves away to the issues of branches, where you're able to use the same service and offer it to another different location. So what happens is that if your service point is already known as fertility solutions in this particular village, extending it to the next village in service provision will be a launch of a new service, so you will still be able to use this same brand. So that is what we refer to as a brand extension. So what are horizontal brand extensions? When you're discussing horizontal brand extensions, for example, the parent brand, say fertility clinic, is known for successful IV treatments. This time, then you'll open a new category called the prenatal care services. So while you're looking at a prenatal care service, is because you want to leverage or you want to utilize the existing trust and expertise to attract expecting mothers. So what happens is that at your health facility, you're offering intro vitro fertilization treatment, and your initial brand has been having successful intro-fertilization. So you know that actually you are having a lot of customers who are coming for this IVF treatment. So as a horizontal brand extension, you will actually open a prenatal care service, meaning a prenatal before someone gets an IVF, meaning before someone conceives. Why are you offering it horizontal? Horizontal meaning you're offering a service that leads to the next service. So why are you offering it? What is the rationale, or what is the reason behind this new category? Is because you want to utilize the existing trust customers already have to attract mothers who are expecting, who expect to have uh, babies, or who expect to become pregnant. So the example is that the fertility clinic expands to offer pregnancy care and birthing classes. So you'll be able to offer antenatal care services. You will continue to offer pregnancy care and delivery classes. So that is how you are extending your service from only offering successful IVF treatments. You're offering now before a successful IVF, and then after a successful IVF, you're offering people services, because you know that after people have successfully people have successfully conceived, there is going to be a delivery. So you will offer that pregnancy care. After that pregnancy care, you will offer a delivery class. After a delivery class, you can actually as well offer breastfeeding classes and so forth and so on. And so that is what we call the horizontal uh, brand extension. Then we look at the line extension. When you're referring to line extension, you're looking at uh, how you're just modifying a new brand. You're just modifying what you had. This is more of modification, what we looked at in modification. For example, a condom that is known for safety and comfort, then the new variety can have one that is flavored, one that is textured, like that, and so forth. So virtually you are just modifying what you already had. So it caters for the differences in customer preferences. It caters for user experience. So because people have different tastes and preferences, as you continue to modify, you actually build on what other people would want to identify with, or what other people would want to enjoy or have preferences over. So that is why we're saying that is a line extension. So vertical means upward. For example, from organic pad brand focused on sustainability, you go to biodegradable menstrual pad with advanced leak protection. So in other words, here you are upgrading your product from one problem to another, or from one solution to another. Like we were saying that things moved from, for example, sodas in vertical extension moved from glass bottling to plastic bottling. In other words, therefore, away from the fatigue of people not giving you soda because you don't want to drink at their selling point, you buy your soda and go away with it in a plastic bottle. So that is a premium product. So you're moving away from one product to one that is more premium. So if you were offering, for example, if you were offering probably one diagnostic test, then you start to offer 3 or 4 diagnostic tests. Or in reproductive health, if you were if you were using machinery that is probably if you were offering your tests using RDT, you now move away from RDT to more microscopic tests that are more sure and that are more convenient and that give you an accurate answer. So the rationale is that it caters to environmentally conscious consumers who prioritize performance. So you will be caring more because they will want performance that if you're testing for this, then you are sure. Not again testing after 2 days, then the person develops another illness and then tests another day. The example is that the organic brand launches a premium line of pads, like I said earlier, and then they made with the innovative materials and high absorbency, emphasizing its sustainability. So here you are actually doing premium product upgrades. Then there's what we call a downward extension. And when you're looking at a downward extension, then for example, we're looking at an aspect of a fertility app that was offering comprehensive tracking and ovulation prediction. For example, you have developed an application on your phone where you're helping young women to track their ovulation or their periods. So what happens is that the basic fertility tracker with the core values. So what is the value conscious product? So instead of offering probably that fertility app, yet you know that products it is expensive to maintain. Probably it needs data and so forth. So you will reduce that product and have it value conscious. Of course, this is value conscious because you're not also going to, as a service provider, you're not also going to go so deep and lower your product value. So you will offer them a basic fertility tracker app with just core features that they can use. So they may not necessarily not necessarily have to use the main app, but you can offer them a basic tracker. So that is a downward extension. So the importance or the reason or the rationale is that you expand your market and reach an affordable option. You offer an affordable option to that certain target group that might not be able to that may not be able to access services. That is why you have light versions of majority of the applications. For example, Facebook Messenger. I've not seen WhatsApp Lite, but probably they are there. There are some applications that the target group can be able to use at a lower or at a cheaper option. So, what are the advantages of this brand extension? It facilitates new product acceptance, it improves brand image and reduced perceived risk, but also it increases distribution probability and promotional efficiency because you're extending your products. The probability that the products can be able to reach different customers is higher, but also companies it helps the the target group understand that your brand is actually up to date. That's why it improves the brand image. The perception is always that new things are an upgrade of the other things. That's why the other day I was telling you about the phones. Every day when the branding improves, even you as the user, you feel that this company is doing well. Your thinking is that Techno is doing well. So as a reproductive health expert, when you improve your brand image, you'll always be having that thought in the mind of your target customers that this brand is doing better now. So it also provides packaging and labeling efficiencies and enhances parent brand image and attracts new customers. As a result, because when you do extensions, you're offering different, you might be tackling different tastes and preferences. Therefore, different customers are able to utilize your service. So, what are the disadvantages of brand extension? One is that the risk of they may not again like your new product. It happens with the football jerseys or kits. This season, another one is produced by Adidas. The next one, another one. So sometimes the customer is confused and they become frustrated. But also, there is retailer resistance and potential sales cannibalization because the retailer can decide not to sell certain products or may decide that the one that makes for them money is this one. So sometimes it may frustrate your sales. Then there's also dilution or there's damage. The damage comes as a result. For example, if you offer different brands of your reproductive health service or your reproductive health center, if you open different branches, sometimes if you have one of your extensions and it has better service provision, it may damage the parent brand image and it may cause a customer shift. Then there's potential loss of brand identification, meaning that people may think actually Coca-Cola or Coke Zero is a different brand and therefore is a different manufacturer. So sometimes you may start to realize that people are actually inclined into your new product and they are leaving the older product because they probably assume that this other new one is a different one. Then there is also possibility that you will miss opportunities for developing new brands because you are extending your brands. The chances that you may be able to develop a new brand are a little minimal in there. So, what are some of the guidelines for brand extension? Successful extensions align with favorable association and exhibit perceived fit. Fit can be based on product attributes, benefits, or everyday usage situations. The quality brands can stretch further and maintain consistency across extensions. So it is better that for you to have a successful extension, you align with favorable associations, meaning that your brand or your extension is fit, in that the product or the benefit is actually they are aligning or they are together with the association or with the people that you associate with or with your target group mind. You should be able to understand that you have a primary or a parent product which has been having customers. And therefore, primarily, you need to understand what the association between what you are producing or what you are extending today is with the community or with your target group. So if the association actually fits, then it is a plus for you to be able to extend that particular product. And also, quality brands can stretch further and maintain consistency across extensions. So you can always if you have a quality brand, you can always maintain that same brand even with your different extensions. You may not need an upgrade of a particular product, but you may just need to have consistency. For example, brands as MTN and so forth can extend across any measure, and they may not have any problems because of their consistency. So some challenges and strategies: concrete attribute associations may be more complex to extend than abstract benefits, but also we have looked at cultural differences and the perceptions that keep influencing extension success. So you need to understand what is the cultural difference. Why I keep mentioning the bottling companies such as Coca-Cola as an example is that they mastered the art culturally very well. You realize that the African society has been struggling with issues of non-communicable diseases. So what happens is that when you introduce Coke Zero, otherwise you've solved the cultural issues and also the perception. So the perception would be that this is actually Coca-Cola that is good for people who are suffering from sugars or from people who do not actually want to take sugars. Whether this is true is for science to prove, but in the marketing, you can be able to see that this has broken through to the market. So some of the strategies include introducing different product forms, leveraging brand expertise, and maintaining your quality. Some of the ways you can be able to revitalize your brand is that you need to expand brand awareness and improve brand image. But also, you can reinvent positioning. We talked about positioning already. You have to reinvent positioning and address marketing program failures. Then you need to fine tune marketing programs and enforce positive associations. So those are mainly some of the issues that you will have to consider if you wanted to revitalize your brand. So actually, to that far is where we end with this particular lecture of building strong brands. There is another lecture that we were supposed to handle on consumer psychology that I am requesting that we introduce this tomorrow so that we can have tomorrow and Thursday to conclude these particular aspects of consumer psychology. So up to that far, unless we have any other questions on what I have presented, that little bit I have presented is actually the last slides on that particular lecture of building strong brands. Do we have any other questions on that?